If you have snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually, they will bite the people who keep them in the backyard.
About terrorism, Hina Rabbani, as you said, yesterday, she brought out this.
Could you come to the question?
How about the UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir? Does India abide by it or not?
And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. So my advice is, please clean up your act. Please try to be a good neighbor.
Hi.
Madam President, Excellencies, while asserting our rights, we must also firmly face up to threats. Countering terrorism is a particular priority because it synthesizes bigotry, violence, intolerance, and fear. India has confronted this challenge since independence, having a neighbor that is an epicenter of global terrorism. For decades now, major international terrorist attacks are traced back to that one country. UN's designated lists of terrorists are replete with its nationals. The most recent example of cross-border barbarism was the murder of innocent tourists in Pahalgam in April this year. India exercised its right to defend its people against terrorism and brought its organizers and perpetrators to justice. Because terrorism is a shared threat, Madam President, it is essential that there is much deeper international cooperation. When nations openly declare terrorism a state policy, when terror hubs operate on an industrial scale, when terrorists are publicly glorified, then such actions must be unequivocally condemned. The financing of terrorism must be choked, even as prominent terrorists are sanctioned. Relentless pressure must be applied on the entire terrorism ecosystem. Those who condone nations that sponsor terror will find that it comes back to bite them. Madam President, an objective report card will show that the UN is in a state of crisis. When peace is under threat from conflicts, when development is derailed by lack of resources, when human rights are violated by terrorism, the UN remains gridlocked. As its ability to forge common ground diminishes, belief in multilateralism also recedes.
This is Mariam Ramadi, Afghanistan International. India has raised concern about terrorism in the region, especially from Afghanistan under the Taliban regime. Are you worried that the Taliban is actually helping or supporting terrorist group, especially Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan?
Well, after the Taliban takeover of Kabul, this council had met and expressed the concerns of the international community in regard to Afghanistan as a whole through a council resolution. And I think that remains very much the sentiment and the outlook of the international community. One of the key expectations there is that Afghanistan will not again serve as a base for terrorism against other countries. And we expect whoever has authority in Afghanistan to respect and honor that commitment.
Thank you, Mr. Jaishankar. Yoshita Singh with Press Trust of India. Yesterday, we heard the Pakistani Foreign Minister Bhutto mention Kashmir in the UN Security Council meeting on reformed multilateralism. Another Pakistani minister, Hina Rabbani Khan, is talking about a dossier and allegations against India coming from a country that hosted Osama bin Laden. Your thoughts on this? And also a quick question on the latest clashes between the Indian and the Chinese forces in Arunachal, if you can comment on that. Thank you.
Well, I read the reports on what Minister Hina Rabani Khar said. And, I was reminded more than a decade ago, if my memory serves me right, Hillary Clinton was visiting Pakistan, Islamabad. And Hina Rabani Khar was a minister at that time. And I think standing next to her, Hillary Clinton actually said that if you have, I'm giving you the sense, it's not an exact quote, that if you have snakes in your backyard, you can't expect them to bite only your neighbors. Eventually, they will bite the people who keep them in the backyard. But as you know, Pakistan is not great on taking good advice, and you see what's happening there. In terms of what they are saying, look, the truth is everybody, the world today sees them as the epicenter of terrorism. Now, I know we've been through 2.5 years of COVID, and a lot of us have brain fog as a result. But I assure you, the world has not forgotten, where does terrorism, who has their fingerprints over a lot of activities in the region and beyond the region. So I would say that it's something which they should remind themselves before indulging in the kind of fantasies which they do.
Mr. Minister, I'm from Geo TV Pakistan, if you would like to entertain my question also. Okay. How about Kulbhushan, first of all, and India and Pakistan have been accusing each other about terrorism. Hina Rabbani, as you said, yesterday, she brought out this.
Could you come to the question?
My question is, how long South Asia is going to see this terrorism disseminating from New Delhi, Kabul, and Pakistan? How long they are going to be at war, number one? And secondly, how about the UN Security Council resolutions on Kashmir? Does India abide by it or not? Thank you.
You're asking the wrong minister when you say how long will we do this, because it is the ministers of Pakistan who will tell you how long Pakistan intends to practice terrorism. So, look, at the end of the day, the world is not stupid, the world is not forgetful, and the world does, increasingly call out countries and organizations and people who indulge in terrorism. And by taking that debate elsewhere, you're not going to hide it. You're not going to confuse anybody anymore. People have figured it out. So my advice is, please clean up your act. Please try to be a good neighbor. Please try and contribute to what the rest of the world is trying to do today, which is economic growth, progress, development. So I hope through your channel that message goes through. Shall I finish? Thank you.
Second part, Mr. Minister, second part of my question. Thank you.